Greetings, gentlemen. It's the Shaman here coming at you from the Natural Lifestyles channel. And I'm here today because I want to talk to you about the power of touch, the importance of touch, and how you can get more comfortable with touch escalation, and improving your ability to make women feel comfortable with your touch, escalate on dates, and get to that wonderful endpoint that I'm sure all you guys are interested in, which is the intimacy, the connection, and the sex that happens when you have great connection, great trust, and great ability to make women feel comfortable when you're around them with your touch. So the first thing I want to talk about is what are some things that might be appropriate for when you're walking up to a girl, meeting her, getting to know her, and generally having a comfortable, warm interaction to start with. Now you need to remember, as we teach on our workshops when we do live training, is that there is a series of steps that you need to understand as you can start to become a sort of socially free guy that's building comfort and connection with women around you. And one of these steps is to be somebody who's open, friendly, relaxed, comfortable, and curious about meeting somebody. So this is the first kind of tone or energy that we need to set. The next thing is we want to give a complimentary positive energy, or some kind of positive, like let's say intention and compliment or an observation about the person, and then we can start to introduce the potential for touch, whether that be a handshake or touching her on the shoulder or using small social touches to emphasize key points or exciting points in the conversation from there. So I'll show you what that can look like, and we'll show you what not to do as well, so some things that can mess it up and make her feel uncomfortable. Excuse me. Sorry, I just want to stop you for a moment.
Okay.
I like your style. You look very beautiful today. My name is Shay, by the way.
My name is Lana.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you. And what are you up to today?
They walk. It's a good day, so
It's such a beautiful day in Budapest, don't you think? Do you like this place?
yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah. Well, I'm just walking around exploring the city myself. I think it's such a beautiful place to see around here, and I would like to get to know you a little bit more. Would you like to catch up later for a date?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so maybe I get your number, okay?
Yeah.
I'll send you a little message, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you message me later?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to say goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. You have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so as you can see in that small demonstration that I gave, I just gave you very simple principles of coming in warm and friendly, open, curious, giving a compliment, and seeing if you can start to open her to the moment of what is she doing, what's happening. Obviously you need to start to build some kind of context of why you're there. If you introduce yourself, that's the beginning of the context. Hi, I'm Shay, I'd like to meet you. So that starts to give her an idea, okay, he's somebody who wants to meet me. Obviously the next thing is you need to give her a little bit more of a story of why you're there and what you're doing. Exploring the city, having a nice day, walking around. You can even be quite upfront and tell her that you're meeting people or being confident and practicing expressing yourself in ways because you like to do that, or you've been living a stagnant life or a quiet life and you want to come out and meet people and be more free. So these kinds of things can be easy to put into the context to give yourself permission to be able to do that. Now, as you can see in terms of the touch, I shook her hand. I shook her hand in a very simple way. It wasn't even worrying about it too much in terms of just creating the first basic initial context. Now, I didn't put a huge emphasis on the handshake in terms of a perfect handshake. There's much better ways to do nice handshakes, but in terms of a nice initial handshake, just holding the hand like that, saying hi, smiling, being relaxed, being comfortable is probably the first initial friendly social touch that's going to be easy. Now, you don't need to do much more than that to begin with. Then continue on with your conversation. See if you can build a little bit of a connection, see if she wants to respond to you, see if she likes your energy and what you're giving. And then, if you wish, you can try to proceed with small touches at key moments or key emphases in terms of the communication, whether you're talking about how beautiful it is today and maybe touch her at that point, or say how touch her as you're expressing how you're walking around the city and you're showing her what you're looking at or what you've been doing. So it makes sense that the touch happens at that moment. It's almost something that consciously and unconsciously synchronizes to emphasize that point. The other thing that I would say is that in terms of touch, you don't want to do too much. The idea of touch escalation, physical escalation, is it's like a spice. You want to put in a little bit at a time. If you do too much at once, or if it's awkward, or if it's uncalibrated, it's going to come off strange and she's going to feel awkward. Now, I might even do a quick demonstration of what not to do, so you can see how that makes her feel and how that's a little bit uncomfortable as well. So just remember, start initial, warm, simple interactions, handshake, small touches emphasizing the moment, and then just make it more about trust and comfort and being somebody that's present with her at that stage and seeing how she responds. Obviously, if she gives you more positive cues, if she's touching you back, if she is very responsive to those touches in a way that shows positive signs, they're all green lights. If she's not responding in a way where she's pulling away or she has a negative reaction, that's a good sign that at least she's comfortable with you touching her at that stage. So you need to be aware of staying in awareness of her body language, her feelings, having that kind of empathy so that you stay calibrated to the moment. So I hope that makes sense so far, and let's look at what the next steps are. Hey, stop. Sorry. You look really hot today. I just wanted to come and say hi. My name's Shay.
Thank you. Svetlana.
Yeah, nice to meet you. What are you doing today?
I go for walk. I go to my friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I like this dress. It's very sexy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to meet up with you later. You want to go on a date with me?
I don't know. Maybe I don't have time.
You don't have
Free
time?
today.
Really?
Yeah, I need to go.
You sure? You should come and hang out with me, sweetie. I think you're my type.
Sorry, I don't have time. I need to go. Okay.
Okay. All right, well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I just gave you a quick demonstration of what not to do. Notice I came in very aggressive in the sense that I wasn't calibrated to her. I touched her without her awareness. Obviously that's going to put her on the back foot. She's going to be uncomfortable about that. So never grab the arm, never grab the shoulder unless, you know, she's somebody that you know, basically. Now, the next thing was that I wasn't really aware of her situation. I was just being pushy. I was trying to touch her. I was being very direct with my intent in a way that was very sexual, but it was off-putting in the sense that she had no space to really receive those compliments or to feel trust with me or to understand who I was or why I was there or what I was doing. And in that situation, the more that I push for touch, the more that I just be aggressive and do this kind of caveman plowing kind of style of trying to get her to like me, is it's most probably going to come up against resistance and shut her down, and she's just going to feel like I'm some guy who's just trying to take what I want from her without her permission. So that's the beginning of, you know, that kind of uncomfortable energy that guys don't really want to be in. So as I said before, we keep it simple, we keep it warm, we keep it friendly, and we start escalating and being empathetic to her situation in the way that feels good. So hopefully you can see there, you know, a little bit of what to do, what not to do, and have a clarity of the contrast of those two different attitudes and energies to give you the next step. So now we're going to go inside and I'm going to show you what you can do with touch in a different kind of scenario, say when you're on a date and you want to start to become comfortable with touching and building touch as part of the conversation that you're sharing with her. So here we are, we're inside and we're sort of setting up for a dating kind of situations. Now, a lot of guys don't know what to do when it comes to getting comfortable with touch in sort of social situations, or how to make these small moments where touch can be smooth, easy, natural, and part of like a good interaction. So I'm going to show you some things to do and some things not to do now in terms of these kinds of situations, and also what to do if you get stuck in a kind of a situation where you're not kind of sure, and how you can kind of correct some of those situations. So they're not necessarily right or wrong, they're just situations that need a solution. And that's really a good way to think about this as well, is you're just being the kind of person who wants to move towards this goal of being a social adventurer, a romantic adventurer, a connector, being a guy with these kinds of social skills. And we want to start with this, you know, intent and this idea that this is where we're going, and we're really setting this up as our mindset moving forward. Okay, so let's look at the next steps and see what this looks like. You can sit here. Okay, wrong. As an example, you know, if you want to close the gap in this sort of situation, you could just continue the conversation in a way that you normally would. For example, it's a beautiful place, this place. Do you like it here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What I like is that when we sit here, we can see this beautiful scene of the city.
Yeah.
And there's all these beautiful historical buildings we can enjoy as we relax and enjoy our drink. It feels good to be here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so that gives you a little bit more of an example of what I did to correct that situation. I closed the gap, I came in, I continued the conversation in whatever the way that was appropriate at the moment, and then I simply emphasized a key touch point when I was saying, you know, she enjoys this or this is nice, in a way that was creating a little bit of touch. Now, the truth is, if I touch her like this and she's not ready for that, that's going to be too much and it's going to make her feel uncomfortable. So for example, if I touch you like this and you don't like it, what would you do?
What I do?
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah, so what girls will do if they don't like your touch is they're going to directly show you by either moving away or removing your hand, okay? So if I grabbed your hand and you didn't like it here, you would pull away. Same thing as if I touch her here, she's going to pull away. Or if I'm being very aggressive, what would happen? You move my hand? Yeah. So she's going to do what she can to get away. And obviously these are the kinds of signs that we don't want to have when we're trying to build comfort and trust with a girl. So what can we do to try to stop that kind of thing? We need to be aware of when we're overstepping the boundaries and when we're starting to make her feel uncomfortable. So if I say, you know, it's a beautiful place and we're here and I touch her a little bit like this and she doesn't like it and she moves away, then I know that she's not comfortable with that kind of touch at this moment. It doesn't mean that she doesn't like touch, or maybe it doesn't mean that she doesn't like my touch. Maybe it just means that she's not ready for touch at this moment, or she wants to build a little bit more comfort, or it could also mean that she doesn't like my touch and that's also her boundary as well. That's for me to start to understand and develop the understanding of. So first things first, you can do these little small test touches as you emphasize things with conversation, talking about the moment, talking about the place, talking about your feelings, talking about her feelings. Oh, that's great, you had that experience. Oh, you know, I had a really fun experience today. Or you look so beautiful in that dress today. You look very lovely. I love your hands, your nails. So you can make compliments, comments, and make these small touches. If she feels good, then she's going to take that information in and feel good about it, and it's basically good. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Now, if you're being like uncalibrated in a way that makes her feel uncomfortable, then she's going to respond in a way that's going to shut you down. So what you need to do in those moments is just adjust yourself in a way where you're not being too pushy, and you could keep building the comfort and the trust. The other thing to do as well is start to work on what can you do to make touch more of a fun interactive game, or something that can be a natural part of the interaction as you move forward. So that's what we're going to look at now, how we can do it in a different way and look at some different variations. And then once you can sit here. Okay. So notice now what I've done is I escorted her around to the place in a gentlemanly manner. I gestured where I wanted her to sit down, and I also gave her a small touch on the back, which is like a, you know, an affirmational, positive kind of masculine touch, or a friendly kind of touch that has a little bit of that like leadership tone, because if it's on the lower back, then it's sort of showing good hosting, good commanding, good leadership kind of energy. So now I'm here. We have a very easy way to touch. Now this is called a legitimate touch opportunity, which is a very easy and simple way to touch somebody, which is when you just sit next to somebody, you can sit in a way that your bodies make contact without intending to do much of the touch. So if you sit down with a girl and you're making contact like this and she keeps her legs like that, at least it shows she's comfortable with your touch at this level. So this is a good basic test as well. So we want to start to test how comfortable somebody is being in close touch with you. You can sit like this, and this begins the interaction kind of thing. The other thing I would say is, just because you've made some legitimate touch and she is positively responding in the sense that she's not pulling away, doesn't mean that you need to leave the leg there for the rest of the interaction or the rest of the date. You can make this contact for a little bit of time. Obviously, you're both feeling it, you're both registering it, and then you can break that off, or you can put your leg in a way that's a bit more relaxed, or do something a little bit different to change the variation, and you have a little bit more confidence in knowing that when you touch her a little bit like this next time, or you bring your legs back and you touch her again like this, that there's a good chance that that's building more of this repetition of comfort with touch. The other positive thing to say is, as I first start to touch, she starts to feel maybe a little bit of hesitation or uncertainty about the quality of touch or the intensity of touch or what it means to be touched. But as I touch in small, friendly ways, or ways that make her feel comfortable, then she starts to trust that touch. And as I pull away, there is a small psychological void that gets created in her mind. She wants to have that feeling again. So if she feels positive towards it, then coming back and me touching again in another way gives her a little bit more of that dopamine hit of the reinforcement. So what you want to really understand is that touch is a spice. Like I said, it's something that needs to be used as a tone that makes the quality of the interaction a little bit more improved at certain key moments. And by taking it away and reintroducing it in small ways and making it more interesting, it makes it something that is a feature of the interaction that adds a kind of a variety to the emotions and the highs and the lows and the plateaus of what's happening in the interaction. So let's look at what we can do from here in terms of some other fun things. So you're here, you're with a girl, you've got these good kind of proximities. If she's positively responding in the sense that she stays there, then what else can we do? We want to start to have a conversation that is about building intimacy. It's about building touch. It's about building positive kinds of feelings with touch. So some of the things I could do is I could point out a feature, make a comment about the feature, and then use that as an opportunity to touch. So as an example, I might say her hands. I say, wow, can I have a look at your hands? So I notice her hands, and I notice this hand, and she gave me this one, it doesn't matter, but she gives me a hand. And notice because I asked and I gave my hand and she gave it to me, she is actually giving me her permission to touch her. I'm not taking anything from her, she's giving me permission to touch. Now, I have the hand and I can make a comment. I can stroke it a little bit. I can also point out, I like this color, it's a very nice color, it suits your skin tone, yes. It's a very feminine color. So I can make comments about what I feel about the color or the features or what it brings to my mind or what I feel about her personality or, you know, these kinds of things. I could also point out stuff that she has. She has some rings. This is a cute ring. This is a cute ring, you know, this kind of thing. And I can also have a look. I might even want to look at the inside of her hand, and I can even, this is a bit cheeky, I might touch the hand like this and say, oh, you have very soft hands.
Thank you.
Okay, or I might say, oh, you have very small hands, but you have very well proportioned hands, you know, very perfect hands. So you make comments, you make observations, you make it playful. Now keep in mind, if I'm on a first date and I say, hey, can I see your hands? And then I go from here to wow, this is amazing. And then I'm this and I'm touching this and I'm doing all this. It's going to be too much at once. But what you need to understand is a little bit of this at a little bit of times stacked over the date could be very powerful. So can I have a look at your hands? Well, you have very lovely nails, nice color. It's very beautiful. So that could be a one simple spicy interaction that you put in, and then I change the subject, or we talk about something else, or we talk about what she loved to do today, or what she's, you know, what she's into, what I'm into, what I want to talk about in this moment that is inspiring. So we could also use a feature like her earrings. So she has these earrings. So what can we do? Now I can't just grab her ear, but what I can do is I can see and I can say, hey, I like your earrings. Can I have a look at your earrings?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, and as I have a look at her earrings, she gives me an ear, right? So if I do it on this side, can I have a look at this earring here? So she shows me her ear, and now what I can do is I can look at the earring, and look, I have a very legitimate touch opportunity to touch her neck and to touch her ears, and as I do this, I can make a comment and I can say, oh, they're very cute, or they're very nice. And then as I do that, I can also slide the hand off like that. So that's a very small but very nice thing to do in terms of showing her that you like her, or also that you want to give her good feelings by paying attention to a feature. Now a feature could be a necklace, it could be a bracelet, it could be these earrings, it could be a tattoo, it could be something else. Another thing is clothing. So she's wearing clothing obviously, so I could say that looks like a lovely dress. Can I touch the fabric? It's a nice fabric, yeah? So I can touch the fabric, yeah? I might want to say, that's nice, can I touch? Yeah? So she gives me permission to touch. So now as I'm doing that, then it makes it easy for her to feel positive. Now, what I can also do is I can turn that around on her. I can say, now you touch mine. See? Now we play a game of, I give her an opportunity to touch me, and I mean, my shirt does feel kind of nice as well. It doesn't matter. It could be a cheap, crappy shirt. I could have touched this. See? It's crappy Chinese cotton.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cheap. Yeah. So we can even use that as a fun game. It doesn't really matter. It's more about using an opportunity to just touch, have an exchange, and feel fun. The other thing that we can start to do as well is we can look at kinds of games. Now, if you are feeling confident, more dominant, or you've got a girl that's more submissive and she wants to follow your leadership, or she just wants to do what you say, then you can do something like, hey, give me your hand. So she gives me her hand, and now I can say, I want to show you a hand massage. Okay? So as I show you this hand massage, I've been studying some hand massage lately, and I think it's a very special thing to have hand massage, because it's very relaxing, and also because it's very personal. You know, we use our hands all the time, but nobody gives love to our hands. So sometimes when we have this hand massage, we relax a lot, yeah? It's very relaxing to have a hand massage. So what you can see I'm doing here is I'm starting to just give her an intimate moment, right? I'm just playing with her hand and doing some massage. Now let's look at the actual techniques, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm just squeezing a little bit with the palms like this, and I'm just giving her a little bit. Now once again, I'm not squeezing too hard. And what I'm also doing is I'm squeezing on the top in between the bones. I'm just using my thumb and finger to squeeze a little bit in between the bones. And in between these two things of just, you know, squeezing at the bottom like this and separating the palms with my fingers like this and squeezing in between the bones, it feels pretty good. How's it feel?
It's very good.
It feels very nice. If you're on a date with a man and he does this, how you feel?
It's nice.
It's very nice.
Good.
It's very good.
I
It's very
like,
nice. She
yeah.
likes, yes, of course. So, and we want to pay attention to the fingers. Notice now, I can be quite intimate with the fingers. I can pay attention. I can do these little rolling movements like this. I can do these little squeezing movements. And the good thing to do when you're doing this is kind of keep talking. Keep talking about life. Keep talking about your feelings. Keep talking about your recent experiences. Talk to her about her recent experiences. Or keep talking about the massage or the hands and the feeling. You know? How does it feel? Is it nice?
It's very good. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed.
I think you need more massage maybe. Yeah, you're very stressed.
Of course.
It's very important to have massage on a regular basis. Maybe you need a professional massage therapist.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know somebody.
You know?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Somebody who likes to give hand massages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So what we want to do here is be fun, be flirty, be playful, use touch, use intimacy as a way to start to open this up. Now, I've just given her a nice amount of touch. She feels good. That is already great. I could finish like that. We could continue talking. And if I just do one hand, then she's probably going to want more, right? If I just do one hand, then what do you want? She wants the other hand, right? So obviously, then when we want to start focusing on one, then we start to do two. This already starts to build a sort of a sense of escalation, right? So she's feeling good, she likes the touch, we can play around with this, and we can also build some anticipation. Not only are we building trust, and not only are we using the skill of our touch and our intimacy, we're also building this kind of trust and this skill of her wanting to be touched by us. So once we do two hands, and it feels good,
It's very good.
okay, now I just got some good points, right? She trusts me, she feels good, I gave her a good experience, and then we can continue on with our date and have another experience of what we're doing. We can have a little drink, a little cheers, and then as you continue on with your interaction, then you might want to try again for something else. Obviously, I know I've built some intimacy, we're talking about stuff, and then I might want to say, looks like you have some tension in your neck. You like a bit of neck massage?
Yeah, like
Yeah. So now I can start to quickly escalate into a little bit of neck massage. Now keep in mind that this neck massage doesn't have to be a hardcore therapeutic neck massage. It just needs to be soft and sensual and intimate enough that I'm making her feel good. So you notice that all I'm doing here is a very simple one-handed technique with a little bit of grasping, a little bit of kneading, and it's nothing more than just simple introducing of touch with some comfort. So I want you to realize that it's very simple in terms of how you can start to build these techniques that feel good. And even that 1 minute massage is enough to make her feel comfortable and relaxed and a good thing. Now, even if you're with somebody on a long-term relationship, you've got a girlfriend, then these skills are going to also help you a lot because it's going to help you to make her feel good, fill in moments, share intimacy, and to create this great ongoing connection that's based on physical intimacy over time. So that gives you some ideas of what you can do with the hands, how you can touch with the neck, etc. One last thing I want to say, or something we can put into the mix here as well, is that when we're touching, we want to be touching in a way where we are appreciating her like she is a sensual object. So what that means is that I'm not treating her like she's a piece of meat. I'm treating her like her hand is this soft, beautiful thing that makes me feel good to touch, and I want to make it feel nice for her to have the same kind of touch. So I want you to think about what is the feeling of intimate touch, loving touch, sensual touch, connected touch, as opposed to unconscious touch, not connected, mechanical, or let's say more disconnected kind of touch, let's say. So I want you to work with this. I want you to start to be sensual and soft. And what you can do with yourself is you can even touch yourself in a way that's soft, and you can start appreciating your own body, and you can start feeling good about what it means to be touched in a soft and sensual way to make it a normal and easy part of how you touch both yourself and others. So this can also be conveyed in when you're making a gesture, or you're touching somebody, you're touching a girl in a way that's intimate, you are always conveying a little bit of this intimacy and lover's touch that is something that you've trained over time. Some other things that I can say as well is if we've got something like some hair in the way here, we can use our hands to move out of the way. Same as what we did with the earrings. So we can just simply move the hand out of the way and touch here. So these small gestures like moving the hair out of the way to look at something, or if her hair's in the way and we want to move that hair to just make some space in an intimate moment with a girl you might be already dating or something, these are very lovely gestures. If you already have a relationship, you've already got intimacy, you're already kissing, you're already maybe even having sex, then these small things of touching, making her feel good, touching her neck, touching her on the arms, maybe caressing her face from time to time, touching her ears, touching her in soft ways that make her feel good, are going to create this ongoing currency of touch and intimacy and positive exchange that is good for both of you. So I'd say play with it, have fun with it. And the only other thing you could add in there as well is after you've touched her hand and you've done some games with her, you can say, now you give me a hand massage, please. Okay, and now she can have a go at doing the same kinds of techniques in return and starting to feel, what it's like for her to give. So now I'm giving her an opportunity to give, and I get to be the receiver. Okay, so sometimes we want to be able to exchange the roles, not just always being the guy that's giving or the nice guy or the guy who's trying to make her feel good. Give her an opportunity to please you, to give to you, and to do something that is you taking a little bit maybe, or you receiving. And her allowing and giving to you. This feels very nice, by the way. So it's a pretty tough job I have here, gentlemen, isn't it? So you have a lot of good things to think about now inside of the different tools that I've given you, because what I've showed you is everything you need to know from like first starting an interaction using small, basic social interactions, then slowly starting to escalate into much more intimate interactions, much more friendly interactions, and moving from legitimate touch opportunities to more intimate touch opportunities that are using massage techniques, using observational techniques, touching her in a way that feels good, and basically making touch one of your main skills and like this secret language that you start to be able to use and make women feel good. So as soon as you put your hands on, as soon as you touch her for a moment, as soon as you make her aware that you know how to touch, she instantly feels like she can have trust and comfort and desire for more of what you've got to give. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, if you want to like really go down the rabbit hole of touch, intimacy, connection, you can check out my Sensual Massage Mastery course on the TNL Academy. So there's a whole training there on everything you need to know about how to become a better massage and sensual massage master with women. So you can go from zero to hero in dates and be able to close that gap, get to the bedroom faster, and just generally make women feel fantastic in ways that feel very, very good. Obviously, we cover this stuff a lot when we're doing live trainings, when we do our 4 days, 7 days, and our larger trainings. And we go through a whole range of different things: how to touch, how to escalate, how to make a woman feel comfortable, how to basically make this a normal, natural, easy part of how you interact and have your relationships moving forward. So if you'd like to learn more of that stuff, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the Natural Lifestyles website. You can also check out my website, shaymatthews.com, if you're interested in more inner game topics and more of this kind of stuff. And I'd love to hear from you guys. Please write me comments, give me ideas, ask me questions. I will do my best to serve your needs and help you become the great superheroes and lovers that you would wish to be. And let's get out there, have some great fun, and make all our dreams come true. So this is the Shaman saying peace out, and see you in the next one.